This week on Kentucky Afield.
He turned.
We're tagging along with a local hunter.
There's another one behind him, though. He's coming in.
Who's doing something a little bit different.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Public land crow hunting. Next. Everyone enjoys dove hunting, but few know the work that takes place behind the scenes to make it possible.
If we didn't have information like this, we might not be able to have as big a bag limit or as long a season.
Then, we're squirrel hunting alongside one of our favorite dogs.
Told you I had guns staying on. Yeah, man.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl. Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit. Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo.
Yeah, look at him. It's a keeper.
Here it goes. Boom.
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Crow hunting is an overlooked opportunity here in the state of Kentucky, and it's in season right now.
It's a beautiful morning here in Kentucky. We're gonna be doing something a little different today. We're about to tuck in some cedars back here in the corner of this field and set up some decoys. We're gonna try to call in some crows. I kind of like this setup. It's a rolling hilltop here, and there's low cedar trees behind us, so we have good cover to kind of tuck in behind. We're still gonna wear full camouflage face masks. What's nice about these cedar trees being low is that if birds do come over, if it were tall, say hardwoods like oaks, they could fly on over those trees, be out of range. If anything comes over today, we should get a good shot at it. I've set up these crow decoys just kind of out here in a feeding pattern and set this collar up here in this cedar tree and see what happens here. Well, nothing came into the spot the first set of the day, but we've got plenty more to go and I feel confident we can get some more birds in. All right, well, this spot didn't produce either. We've got one other spot on this farm that we're gonna try out. If we don't have any luck there, we're gonna head out to Taylorsville Lake WMA and try to do some public hunting. Just finished the last setup out here. We had one come in. It looked kind of interested. I don't know what it is, but I certainly don't want to play by the rules. So we're gonna pack the trucks up, head down the road, and go to Taylorsville Lake WMA and see what the flocks there are like. Maybe we'll have some better luck. We're out here at the WMA. There was another truck parked up in the parking lot, and I hear some dogs, so I'm assuming that he's running those trying to get some rabbits. But it shouldn't affect us. This area is big enough to where we shouldn't affect each other. And we're about to hit up this field and see if we can get a few birds to come in. All right, we got one coming in over here. He turned. He's not wanting to come in. There's another one behind him, though. He's coming in. Yeah, he's coming in. All right, we got one down. Still hearing a few in the area. We're probably gonna just let this play out, see if we can't get a few more to come in. Hey, there's one back here. One back here. We just got our second one down off this set. I'm gonna go ahead and look for him first and then come back and look for that other bird. Should be right around here. There he is. All right, found him. We knew right where he dropped, but thought it was gonna be a little tougher than that. We know right where that second one is, so we're gonna go try to find him. All right. We weren't sure if we were gonna find him. This field's pretty thick, but luckily with crows, since they're solid black, it's high contrast, so they're a lot easier to spot than say if it were a dove out here. So that's number 2. We're gonna go try to set up again and get a few more. They started to come in, and I don't know if they just saw something they didn't like or what, but you know, crow hunting, it's a challenge. They're really smart birds. Actually, one of the few birds in North America that can actually recognize their own reflection. They're very smart. All right, we're in this new field, so I think we'll put some decoys up here on the top of the ridge, just so birds can see it from a little bit farther away, then tuck down here in this a little bit lower of a spot. Get the collar and hopefully get a few more to come in. Right here. There's a few coming in on the right. They're going behind those trees. I think they're gonna come out. Yeah, here we go. All right, that first set did it. We came to this second field and won right off the bat. The best part about crow hunting is that the only thing you need is a hunting license, just a regular statewide license. There's a season on them, but there's no limit. You can just go all day, and sure is a blast. A lot of people probably don't know this, but crows, they're actually nest raiders, and they're particularly hard on duck eggs. So with this, it's at least helping out the population with other game species. They're circling behind us. They don't want to come in all the way to gun range. We'll just wait them out. I think if we're patient, they'll come in. All right, here we go. I just need them to clear those trees. All right, yep. Yeah, got a double on that one. This is fun. All right, there's another one coming in. He's pretty high. Let me try it. A lot of people kind of wonder, you know, what's the point of going crow hunting? And me personally, I use the parts off of them for coyote trapping, especially a little bit later in the year. I save the breast meat and the feathers especially. That big old black wing sticking out of a hole, it really catches their attention. I've had great luck with that. There are people out there that eat crow. Personally, I've never tried it. I'll leave it for the coyotes and keep using them as an attractant.
Here today with Captain McQuarrie. How are you doing?
Great, Chad. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, there are so many great activities here in the state of Kentucky that you can do on the water year-round. But man, when that water gets cold, there's some things you really need to think about.
You're exactly right, Chad. You want to make sure you do that pre-launch check. Make sure your boat's properly maintained, make sure you have the proper amount of fuel, and always make sure you let somebody know where you're launching and where your location is that you're going to be planning on going.
I tell you what, if you fall in the water and it's cold water conditions, man, you got to make some decisions really quick to try to get yourself out of that water and back to normal temperature.
You sure do. The first thing you're going to encounter is cold water shock. You have to be prepared for that because most likely you're going to gasp. That's your reflex, and if you're underwater, you could take in water. The next thing you need to start thinking about is the time limit that you have to get out of the water. Typically, we tell people 30 minutes at a maximum. The second thing you need to think about is hypothermia. Again, you're in that 30-minute mark depending on how you're dressed. And lastly, you need to take precautions once you get out of the water, those post-rescue issues that you may encounter coming from cold water and getting back out and getting your body back to its normal body temperature.
Summertime, wintertime, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is have a PFD, right?
Have your PFD. Make sure you wear your kill switch lanyard and make sure you have a PFD. Have it on. You can't be too prepared because accidents do happen and you may enter the water unexpectedly. Make sure your PFD fits properly and it is too properly maintained.
And I'll tell you what, if you're in a bass boat or a fishing boat that's more than a couple years old, there's a good chance it may not have a ladder on it.
You're exactly right. You do want to have that plan. You have to be careful that you don't look at the bank and immediately swim to the bank if you have a boat closer that you can get into, but you must have a ladder because it can be difficult to get into.
I love cold water fishing, and there's a lot of fun activities you can do out on the lake, and it's just a great place to be for leisure activities, but you have to take precaution.
You're exactly right. Safety's number one.
Well, thank you, and we hope everyone has a very safe winter boating season.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah. Go. There's what we come looking for right there.
Have you ever wondered how the Department of Fish and Wildlife sets season dates and bag limits? Well, let's check in with the biologist, check out some dove wings, and find out.
Today we're looking at harvested dove wings. Our hunters are, a certain percentage are asked to save a wing off each bird they kill. They go in an envelope, they send them to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and biologists across the country look at these wings to determine the age of the bird harvested, and that's how we get our age structure to go with harvest information. So the reason we're doing this is doves are a managed species, which means, you know, we don't just have a season and hope for the best. We try to track as many variables as we can. We band doves each year. We're required to band birds, and that helps us get an idea of harvest. We know how many birds we think are in the population as an estimate. We know how many birds we band every year, and the band returns gives us an estimate on harvest, and we use these wings to back up that data and to add the age of the bird, an age structure, into that harvest data. So what we are looking for today are the buffy tips on what's called the secondary feathers. The flight feathers, these are called the primary feathers, and above each primary feather is a secondary feather, and if you look closely on the end of these, you'll see a line across. That buffy tip indicates that this bird was hatched the same year it was harvested, so it's a hatch year or a juvenile bird. All birds, songbirds, molt their feathers. Doves do it in a process. It'll start on the inside and work outward. So they'll process, we count backwards from 10 to the inside until we find the new feather. So if you will look, you will see these kind of older beat up feathers, and then we get to this feather here, which is a new, pretty gray feather. So we will count back 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then that is the new feather in the number 3 position. So we will record our first wing. We will code it as a mourning dove. The age, we said this was a hatch year bird, a juvenile bird. So we record it as a hatch year, and we said that the molt was the 3rd feather. So we put 3.
This information is valuable, so we can be less conservative when we know what we've got. So if we just say, oh, we think there are a lot of doves out there, then we need to be conservative because we don't know. But through information like this, we have these models that give us a really good estimate of how many birds there are. And so, you know, we have a very liberal season on doves. We have a 90-day season with 15 birds a day that you can harvest in Kentucky. And so lots of opportunity to go out and hunt doves and have fun. And, you know, if we didn't have information like this, we might not be able to have as big a bag limit or as long a season. When you think about the critters that we hunt in this country, migratory birds, we have more information than anything else. And it allows us to have a very scientific process to monitor how we hunt these birds. And it's because of you guys, because you answer those questions, because you do your HIP, because you participate in the parts collection survey. Without that, we don't have lots of that information.
Looking for a reason to get outdoors and have a little fun? Well, squirrel season stays in here in the state of Kentucky until February the 28th. What's her name again?
Her name's Ellie Mae.
What type of dog is she?
She's a mountain feist.
A mountain feist.
Mountain feist. They use their eyes, ears, and their nose real well. You might see them get up on their hind legs even. They'll wind and they just go get him, girl.
She knows what she's here for. And that dog immediately.
Find a squirrel. She's pretty accurate, this little dog here is, you know. I can't speak for all of them, but I like the breed just for the fact that usually when they tree, there's meat there because, you know, they're not just smelling a track, they're smelling that whole squirrel.
Yeah.
That's up the tree.
Look how she's jumping.
When she starts bouncing like that, she's smelling something right there. I think she smells one right now, guys. She's treed.
Look at her. Look at her biting on that stump.
That squirrel has went straight up into there.
Look how excited she is.
Oh yeah, she knows it's there. That's exactly where it's at. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Ellie. We ain't gonna get that one. It's in a hole. Come here, baby. Right through there. That's a good girl. I usually just pack her a little ways. We'll go back up here and go through this gate and,
all right,
and head up this way here to the right. And she should have us another tree in no time. So that's the way we're going.
There you go.
She's on that tree, buddy, both front feet. I see the squirrel.
I just saw the squirrel too.
Squirrel sitting right up in the top.
There's two.
Is there two?
I tell you what, Steve, you get in range where you think you can get a shot at one, and if the other one takes off and we had to shoot at it running, I'll be ready.
I was taught as a kid, they ain't small, miss small. I had to pay for my own shells, buddy. But my uncle didn't bring me from hazards, so I'm real careful about the way I shoot. Ready?
There you go. There's one. There's one more up there.
Yep. You want to shoot it? He's right up in that same fork, Chad. Told you that gun's dead on. Yeah, man. Good girl. Good girl.
Nice job, Ellie, man.
Good job, Ellie. Good job, buddy.
You think they don't want those squirrels? I mean, I'm telling you what.
She loves it.
Hey, we enjoy getting out here, and it's always good for the table. But you know what? That dog likes it more than we do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, look how excited she
loves
is.
it. Yeah, she's excited. I believe she's on the right. Stay on this side.
We'll let old Ellie Mae tell us where we need to go, huh?
That's exactly right.
You see right there with the fork? It's sitting right there. It's a gray squirrel. She's looking right at it.
Here, Chad, you come get the rifle and I'll handle the dog.
I got a pretty good shot right here. All right.
Go ahead. Crack shot. Good job,
There
Ellie.
she goes.
Good dog.
That dog
Good
is on
dog.
it.
Nice shooting, Chad.
Thank you. I'll tell you one thing, you've got a squirrel killing combination with that little 1022 and Ellie Mae.
Hey, Lordy.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any better. You just turn the dogs loose, it's very social.
Yeah.
We can sit here and talk and carry on, talk about our deer season, and lo and behold, wait for her to bark, walk up there.
Yeah, we've talked about bear hunting, elk hunting, everything else, and then directly you hear a bark. Let's go.
We've hunted everything in the state of Kentucky and got 3 squirrels. Pretty good. That is pretty good.
Hey, Lordy, good job.
Where did this originate, using Feist dogs?
Even George Washington, in some of his memoirs, were talking about, you know, a Feist dog. That's what they used to call them. You know, it's been that far back, but a lot of your poorer people, your early settlers in the mountains and stuff, you know, they could have one dog for everything. So it's pretty much an all-around dog. So that little Feist dog was easier to feed and care for. So, you know, some families that couldn't afford the bigger dogs just took the smaller dogs and they adapted into all-around hunting dogs, varmint dogs, you know, and now they're just specifically squirrel dogs.
That's interesting. You know, there's always a good storyline behind something like this. And this entire breed of dogs, because they are cheaper to feed and can be trained to treat multiple species, came out of the mountains because people there just didn't have much.
Some of your first settlers, some of my people were some of the first settlers in southeast Kentucky, came in through Cumberland Gap and that way into Kentucky. You know, my daddy always talked about the old Feist dogs when he was a little boy down there and stuff, you know, them getting snake bit and treeing possums and coons of a night and squirrels of a day, you know, and stuff. And he loved a tree dog, and I guess I growed up hunting with him, and that's what made me love the tree dogs. And I mean, I rabbit hunt and stuff too, and got them rabbit dogs and all, you know, that, man, there's just something about a tree dog, you know, being able to go to it. It's just so much different.
It is, and you know, your dad loved it, and I'm sure that it a little bit brings you back to your childhood.
Absolutely. I think she's fixing a tree. She's treed.
There we go.
We have a little talk and tree a little squirrel.
It sounds like it's the beginning of a song.
Yeah. him, girl. Good girl.
Oh, I see it, going up the tree. It's up there in the top now.
I can just barely see a little piece of hair there. How's that? Good girl. Good girl, Ellie. Good girl. I just shot at what I could see. Look how red that squirrel is down its back.
Yeah, sure
For
is.
a gray.
I'll tell you one thing. She was sure it was on that tree, and I was not going to doubt that dog.
No.
There's probably one over there, too.
There it sits, right there. See it right there in the top? Right there it sits.
Oh, yeah, I sure do.
See it?
That dog was on that tree.
Oh, yeah.
And we spooked this one out walking to it, and sure enough, again, that's a fox squirrel. So we've got a gray and a fox sitting here side by side.
It is a fox squirrel. Yeah, I knew she had a squirrel there, and then when you seen that other, but a lot of times that'll happen like that.
Get ready, coming down the tree, get ready.
Here. Here, Ellie, here. Here, Ellie, here.
Coming down, there you go.
Get him, girl. Good job, Ellie. Good job, Ellie.
Fantastic. I tell you what, that is awesome. When you sit there and we walk in and we see a squirrel and we think, oh, that's what she's barking at right there. And I said, you know, look at that dog.
She bites onto my coat and everything.
Look at her. Oh, God, I love that enthusiasm.
Good girl. We've got oak, scaly bark hickories, we've got tight bark hickories, big nut trees, the shag barks, scaly barks, same thing. Got red oaks, white oaks, there's plenty of big timber in here, and then you got these little locusts. That's pretty much their homes in there besides the nest, you know.
Well, the woodpeckers have opened it up for them and just said,
Yeah.
here, live here.
Yep. All right, girl, go get him. Go find a squirrel. Go get him. Go get him.
She always takes off. When you let her go, she always goes right in front of you. And
Perks
looks
them
at
ears
All
up
you
and
gotta
goes
do
listening.
is,
Yep.
it's like you're steering her right this way. Like, you know, like a good lab dog, a retriever dog.
Yep. There she
There she
is.
is. She's already treed up again. She's straight out.
Yep.
Straight out this ridge.
I see it. It's a fox squirrel and it ain't very high. Here, Chad, bust that fox squirrel right in the head. Look right there, right here low.
Oh, yeah.
Through the cedar. Good shot. Shot, Chad.
There he goes.
Yeah, man, good job.
I think that's number 10.
Good girl. Good girl, Ellie.
You know, Steve, you like to shoot these fox squirrels right at the end of the hunt so you don't have to carry them all day.
Exactly. That's good thinking. Look at there what Chad shot out to you, buddy. Look at there, what a squirrel.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
I'll tell you what, I can watch that dog work squirrels every single day. Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. 7-year-old Cy Cox got this very unique hen. This is a bearded hen and it was taken with a crossbow. Nice job. Check out this beautiful buck taken by Tim Nelson. This deer was shot with a .30-30 Winchester in Wayne County. Nice job. Here we have Noah Bancroft, who caught a nice impressive bass at a farm pond in Jefferson County. This bass was caught on a watermelon seed fluke. Nice job. Here we have Logan from Bullitt County with his dog on his very first chucker hunt. Here we have Jonathan Garrett Jr. with his first deer ever, taken with a .243 Winchester rifle. It was during the youth deer season. Nice job. Here we have William Campomanes with a nice 10-point buck, taken with a crossbow in Bath County. Nice buck. Here's something you don't see every day, a smallmouth bass caught out of the Salt River. This fish was caught by Danny Autry. Nice fish. Here we have Mason Flint with his first deer ever taken with a bow, a nice buck that he took at 15 yards. Congratulations. Check out the beautiful white rack on this buck taken by Jerry Applegate in Perry County, Indiana. This buck was taken with a crossbow. Nice job. Here we have Nicholas Lester, who's 11 years old, with his first buck taken in Owen County. This deer was shot with a .30-06 at 180 yards. Check out the beautiful rack on this 12-point buck that also has a drop tine. This deer was taken by Taylor Fitzpatrick in Clark County, Kentucky. 2021 is finally here. I hope you find plenty of time this year to get outdoors. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.
More Kentucky Afield is available at your fingertips. Whether by smartphone or desktop, you'll find extra tips, photos, even behind-the-scenes video on our social media pages. Join the conversation and stay in the woods or on the water longer when you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Simply search Kentucky Afield on your favorite app.